Well, come along to the Prospect headquarters on the Isle of Man. Mike Clancy's over from the UK. You're here to talk to members, but also you got a chance to see our Chief Minister. Thing you can tell us beforehand? I mean, anything in or out on this today, discussion-wise? What are you aiming to talk about?
Well, our experience presently is that members in government, public service generally, continue to take the brunt of whatever financial austerity measures a particular community is facing. And we're trying to talk with key opinion formers and obviously, in this respect, the Chief Minister, about the consequences for members in the longer term. We're trying to get government generally to think long term rather than short term fixes in relation to particular financial challenges. And our other experience is that it's not long before you get a reminder of how important public servants are. On the mainland in the UK, the reminder was in relation to storms and in relation to power losses, when public servants and also those in the private sector but providing public infrastructure were key in defending their communities and in supporting their communities. And it's timely to remind our members' employers how important they are when they're making important choices about the future of government, its structure and the policies they adopt.
I mean, the Isle of Man was known for being very affluent, and there are VAT agreements with the UK and so on. That's obviously all gone, and everyone's taking the pain as such. Do you feel that you've taken more than others? I mean, your area, your union?
I think we would feel that there's been a more or less pronounced approach by governments to see public servants as an easy target, to portray public servants as in some way feather-bedded by comparison to the rest of the population, whether it be in relation to their employment conditions or their pensions.
Well, pensions does always come up here.
Of course it does, but it's largely an equality of misery argument, that actually the lot of others is poorer, therefore your lot should also be the same. Now, of course, it's also allied to some mythology around what public servants do. In reality, they are providing vital infrastructure, whether it be social, housing, transport, without which societies can't function. And so we're an evidence-based union. We're a union which likes to deal in the facts. We're not against change, but we are against change where it's ill thought through and the end product's not better.
Well, any change is normally not liked, is it? I mean, people like terms and conditions as they were, and these days those have gone, haven't they, for a lot of people? Work longer, work harder, and less money at the end, possibly.
Well, certainly the prevailing orthodoxy is that you have to really be two things in terms of a workforce: available and acquiescent. And I think that's something which our sort of people who are very committed to the public services that they provide don't need to be told that, because they're naturally available. They serve their communities. But they don't have to be acquiescent. They're entitled to voice in change. I don't actually subscribe to the fact that our people just remonstrate against change for the sake of it. They usually push back against change where they can see it's not improving the service. And what I think we've been trying to do locally through our representatives and through our officer, Angela, who are, after all, people who are members of this community. And that's been important to us in how we go about our work here. People who really are deeply embedded in the community, who are the voice of our representatives, a voice of our members. Those people are agents of change. But it's just not change on unilateral terms.
How's membership?
Membership's been going well. Our membership actually has been growing, and Prospect has therefore wanted to invest in the Isle of Man. We've, since before I was General Secretary, when I was Deputy General Secretary, regular engagements with our members here. I've always seen it as an opportunity for us to grow as a union. We're looking at investing both in our representatives and our staff here, and also in our own on our premises, so that we have a long-term, durable presence here which grows. And Angela and the representatives are doing an excellent job in obviously difficult conditions often in growing our membership, and that says something. Prospect is increasingly, I think, the go-to union on the Isle of Man.
And finally, to go back to the Chief Minister today, I mean, have you come over especially to see him, or has he requested to see you, or is it just to see each other's eyes?
Well, when I was last here with representatives, I said I would come back as soon as diary allows, and we would wanted to have a significant political engagement to do that. So it's mutual. It's a conversation. in a situation where there's a lot of change. It's not a conversation based upon adversaries. It's a conversation based upon how can we work with government. There'll be a few points we want to get over in that respect. Often, these conversations are portrayed in totemic fashion. I think it's very important to have a good relationship with the people who determine the future of our members in good and bad times, so that we can work these things through constructively.
Because he'll be telling you, like you tell everyone, there's no ring fencing for anybody, and nothing is out in the sense of being cut, moved, whatever. That's just, presumably you're used to that sort of language anyway.
I mean, actually, without being flippant, I've heard that before. But, politics plays out in the context of real lives and real choices. The most difficult thing about the political process is its short-termism. People measure their period of influence based upon their likely period of office. I think we as a union are a force of consistency and constancy. That's not to say that we just say no to change, but we're there to remind what was good from the past, influence what is being proposed for the future, with an aim that we'll be the ones who are there even when the other politicians may have moved on to new things.